Before self-development became a thing, we just got on with life. Now that every single time you go onto social media, you see limiting beliefs, procrastination, self-worth, self-doubt, and all of these words that we never knew as a kid. I was the most authentic, arrogant child you will ever meet in your life. People would tell me, you can't do that, you can't do that. My response would be like, well, why can't I? Why? Tell me why I can't. Tell me why I can't do that. Give me a logical reason as to why I can't do that. Every time I would meet a girl, she'd be like, you're so full of yourself. And my response would be, give me a reason not to be. Give me one specific reason why I can't. 9 times out of 10, I said, the only thing you'll be able to say is that I've got a pretty big nose, right? But that was just my aura. Then what happens is we tend to go through life and we forget about that part of us. And I've had this massive realization today, and it's actually quite freeing. Just wanting that spark back of just like, why can't I? Tell me specifically why I can't. So as always, every single morning, I'm sitting down at the computer and I'm currently doing some work around beliefs. Because basically I've poured into every single other human being in this planet that I possibly can over the last 3 or 4 years. It's time for me to be able to go sky high. Now, I'm writing down a list of beliefs that come up in front of me. And I'm just looking at them. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why can't I? Why can't I? Tell me why I can't have that. Tell me why I can't do that. Tell me how that's true. Why? Now, I've just created something called Brad's World. We wake up on a daily basis and we go into our world. We choose our worlds. There's 8 billion different people on this planet. There's 8 billion different people who have different beliefs. There's 8 billion different experiences, yada, yada, yada. In my world, my main sentence, or let's call it a slogan, is why can't I? Why can't I have that today? Tell me one good reason as to why I can't have that today. And I want you to take this into life. Why does it have to take you 5, 10, 15 years to achieve something? Why does it have to take a certain amount of conditions in order for you to be able to achieve something? Give me one specific reason why I can't have what I want right now. Because anything can happen. One connection can lead to 10 years of growth. One gift from God can lead to 1,000 more percent of what we have now. But we don't live that way. My mum, I was on the train to Prague and I left my wallet on the train. And I got off the train. As soon as I got off the train, I realised I've left my wallet on there. And there was about 400 quid in it, right? That was 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. And my mindset there and then was, it's going to be all right. I'll get that back. No idea how, but I was like, I'll get that back. My mum rings me and she's like, we're picking a horse to the Grand National. What do you want? And my mindset was always that I was just the boy in my world. So I said to my mum, read out some names. She read out some names of like my favourite numbers, and there was one called Rule the World. And I said, one day I'm going to rule the world, mum. I want that horse. Didn't think into it, didn't even check the other names, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, forgot about that, got the flight to Prague, ended up in Prague, got to the hotel, connected to Wi-Fi, and someone had messaged my Instagram. I was like, hi, I think this is you, I found your wallet. I live here, can you send someone to get it? Or can you come and get it? So anyway, my mum went and got my wallet. Anyway, turns out later that day, I didn't go into lack, I didn't go into scarcity, I didn't go into worry, I didn't go into fear. Turns out that day, I got my wallet back and Rule the World won the Grand National. Now, I had that mindset up until, I would say about 28 years of age is when my life started to go downhill. A few wrong choices by me, a few situations I found myself in that I shouldn't have been in. And I went from everything I touched turned to gold to everything I touched turned to shit, pretty much. So, rightly so, I believe spiritually, a man will reach a season where everything falls apart. If you want to go to a higher level in life, a man will reach a season where everything just falls apart. This is where I believe the old identity will start to break. It may go on for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But that is where every single part of you starts to erode away. It's not until I came out the other end of that did I really start to understand that. In that moment, there's nothing you can do. Your cortisol levels are through the roof. You're in survival. Everything you do from that survival state will put you into a state of fear, worry, even more anxiety, and nothing you do will work. Nothing I did worked. A few little bits of luck came in to keep me afloat, but apart from that, I lost everything. But without them years, I wouldn't have gained as much wisdom and certainly as much knowledge now for my clients. Every single client I come into contact with has been through or is going through every single situation that I have been in. So I am equipped with the tools and the credibility to be able to help them. So I am blessed. But what I want you to start doing is, please, just every single day, when you think of something you want in this life, give yourself one reason as to why you can't have that. Forget about 3D physical problems of you need an algorithm to work in your favor, you need an ad to run in your favor, you need companies to pay on time, you need. Just ask yourself a question. Why can't I? Because God, the creator of this universe, didn't sit down and say, Brad needs to do this every single day, Brad needs to go and do that every single day. And didn't create a list of physical tick boxes in order for me to be able to get what I want. Now, you can dive into the state of consciousness we're in, frequency, vibration, self-concept, whatever people call it these days. I basically live in Romans 12:2, I think it is. Do not be conformed. Do not be condemned by the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So I basically just renew my mind as if I am the version of me that is already living in my life. Why can't I? How powerful is that? Why can't I? Give me one reason. When you come up with something, people, why can't I have that? Give me one solid reason why I can't have that. And that is, when I was at school, you know, this woman, I think in my maths class, we was doing like probability of why you can't swim a certain distance in a certain amount of time. She said to me that's unrealistic. I was like, but why? But tell me, give me one reason why that can't happen. Why that can't happen. And I could never understand that concept of things. Yes, it may have been unrealistic. I think probably to swim the Channel Tunnel in like 5 minutes, okay? But technically with a jetpack, that is possible. I know that's a bit ridiculous, but that was the mindset I had when I was a kid. I was always like, well, tell me why I can't. And then my rugby coach called me in and was like, what do you want to achieve next year? And I was like, I want to put on 3 stone and I want to play for England colleges in rugby. He was like, that 3 stone's not happening in that short amount of time. Technically, if you took enough gear, you ate enough food and you lifted enough weights, you probably could put on 3 stone in a short amount of time if the genetics are bang on. So technically, I'm not taking that as a loss, right? I did actually end up playing for England colleges because I had that mindset of like, tell me why I can't have that. Tell me why I can't have that. But I entered bitch mode. I entered a mode where everything was going downhill. And I lost that je ne sais quoi. I lost that healthy arrogance, that part of me that just knew that I could have whatever I wanted just went. So, one question I want you to just live by is, why can't I? You can have anything you want in this world. There's no reason why you can't have it in this world. Don't come at me about lack of knowledge and lack of talent and all of this waffle, because it's just simply not true. Because you can, in fact, have it. There's people less knowledgeable, doing more than you. Let that sink in. All right? So, the big sentence. Any way to smash your limiting belief is, why can't I? List them all out And then on the other side of that, what I want you to do is write down the exact reason, all right, that you can do it. So for example, my current reality defines my future, all right? I put next to it, look at where I was 4 years ago. My reality then, if I looked at where I am now, I'd be so happy. Even a year ago, all right? Growth must be slow and linear. I've put next to it, one door opens and pushes you 10 years in front, all right? Get crystal clear on the specifics, because you'll soon start realizing that there is no physical reason as to why you cannot have the life that you want. The moment that you doubt yourself is the moment that you disconnect yourself from God. So the big question you need to go through now is, why can't I have what I want? There's no reason why it can't happen. There's no reason why one phone call can't solve £1 million worth of debt. There's no reason why one video can't blow up your business. There's no reason why one customer can just give you the year amount of revenue that you want. Have no limitations in your life. Why can't you, baby? Why can't you? I hope that's helped. Let me know. Big love, Melia Movement, baby.